Hey, what's up YouTube? Hope everyone is doing well. Really quickly, today's video wanted to talk about charge cards on file and a couple new updates that recently came down the pike with LMN. Wanted to talk about getting your cash and your cash flow going, answer a couple of questions about how to get charge cards on file that I got via email. So that's what we're gonna do today. Real time, got the loader behind me, so driving as safe as possible. Just scooped up the loader from W4 Graphics over there in Brighton, Michigan. They did the wrap on the loader with the Dirty Graphics wrap, and it looks absolutely amazing. Very, very thankful for that. Costed a pretty penny, but nonetheless, making the investment into the branding for sure. So stay tuned for another video for another time when I can hopefully do a little walk around on that. So today's video talking about cash flow, charge cards on file. Really excited about some changes that we've made through the years for our company, and those changes continue to happen, grow, evolve as the business changes, as the economy changes, as opportunities change. So about 5 or 6 years ago, we actually moved to charge card on file, and that was with the CRM Yardbook. Still have a special place in my heart for Yardbook. I think it's one of the best CRMs if you're just getting started in business, or really even running a business up to $250,000, $500,000. I know some guys even run larger businesses with that. But long story short, about a year ago, we switched over to LMN. A lot of you guys have been following that journey and story, especially a lot of you guys in the Link membership, as you're kind of growing those middle-sized 300 grand to about $1 million businesses like myself. So we're all on that pilgrimage together. But basically, the issue that I was running into a long time ago was having no cash. And we would do, invoicing back in the day with different softwares and apps, and even Square, if you guys know Square, kind of a point of sale program and platform. We finally got on Yardbook, and we were doing some end of month billing, and that was going fine as well. And then I saw a great video from Jonathan with Florida Turf Pros. A lot of you guys know Jonathan. He's a cool dude. He talked about charge kind of file, and my ears perked up, if you will. And I said, I want to know more about that, how that works. And long story short, about probably 6 or so years ago now, we made the decision to exclusively, for our residential customers, take charge card on file or a seasonal prepay with a check, but you got to pay for the season in full. And it's actually been a huge hit, and a lot of customers love it. It's the only way we accept payment. Yes, you pay a little bit more in credit card fees, but you got your cash. And so about 5 or 6 years ago, we went through the whole process of getting everybody's name, address, email, and a card on file. More recently, as we switched over and migrated over to LMN, we've done that exact same process. This is the first year we'll be exclusively running everybody, residential and commercial, through LMN, which is really exciting, including the charge cards on file. Now, everything being said, there's 2 things that happened this week. Number one, I burned up the phone all day Monday and all day Tuesday to get cards on file, only to have the email feature now available with LMN debut Wednesday evening. And so by the time you're watching this video, it's probably last week, but that's just my luck. Monday, Tuesday, spending all day, getting those cards on file, which is nice. Talking to 75, 80, 90 plus residential customers, like that was fine. But nonetheless, it would have been nice to just professionally shoot a quick email or even a newsletter saying, hey, all these emails are going to be coming out, so put a card on file, and then have everybody on their time put a card on file to secure that we're going to be coming out, right? So we do not start service until we have a card on file. We cannot ensure any interruption of service until there is a card on file. And so that being said, that is one of the big features and one of the big changes. So if you guys are LMN users, make sure you guys start getting those cards on file and explain to your customers that we are now going to be moving to a charge card on file program, a charge card on file system, and we're going to be billing out, here's my next point, weekly or monthly, however you guys do it. That is 100% the way to do it. So the reason I say that is because we went from a charge card on file at the end of the month program to more recently this year, we're switching to a charge card on file at the end of the week. And so that is going to help us significantly with our cash flow. I am super excited about that. And that is a big change and feature that we are doing this year. And the reason being, as payroll gets bigger, we have more payments on equipment. We just need to fund and capitalize the business for growth. We need access to as much cash as we can, as fast as we can. We've got a good piggy bank actually going on. We had a pretty good Q1. a very profitable Q1, to be fair. We had some record growth and a 70% gross margin on our snow and salt work, and we came out with a double-digit net profit for Q1. I know all this because I just got done with my bookkeeper cycle CPA. We had our Cyclescape reporting last week, and a lot of 5s and 4s, a couple 1s and 2s, so we got to fix a couple things, but overall, we did really, really good. But nonetheless, taking all that money, reinvesting it back into the business. And as I was talking about earlier, we're looking to capitalize as much as possible with all the growth that we're having. And so charge cards on file at the end of the month is a necessity. And I know a lot of guys in the industry right now are doing charge cards on file weekly. And so just to answer a couple questions about the mindset, the thought process, how we even got that far is, I'll take it back. A quick little 2-minute story throwback is back in the day, I always used to say that I was a professional debt collector more than I was a lawn and landscaper. Because if we did $10,000 a month of weekly lawn maintenance, when I would charge, or I should say bill at the end of the month, we would get about $2 or $3 grand the first week in the following month, $2 or $3 grand the next week the following month, $2 or $3 grand again the third week of the following month. And again, about at the end of the month, we'd always have about $2 or $3 grand owed to us. And so that continuously ran in a running, net 30, net 60 window. There's always 2 or 3 or 4 customers that always owed us money. There was the first 4 people or 5 people that owed us from May, then there was a different 5 in June, a different 5 in July, and it was just all over the place. And so I was getting very, very frustrated with that conversation. And so we decided to go to a charge card on file, and we had customers from 18 years old all the way to 75 years old. We had people that were in mobile homes all the way to folks that had $1 million plus properties and estates. We had weekly cuts from, 15 and 20s, maybe if we still had a couple left over. Let's just say our minimum now today is 40s, 50s dollars in some of the subdivisions, all up to $175, $200 weekly mows for our residentials, right? So the gamut was pretty wide of the age group, the income brackets, the backgrounds, the ethnicities, everything. And guess what? 99 out of literally 100 customers renewed with us and said, honey, no big deal. We're happy to oblige. And that was awesome. It's easier for the customer. It's more convenient for us. Nobody's extended over their skis, right? Billing out a month, or sometimes it takes 5 or 6 weeks to get paid from the month before. So you're out a month, maybe 2 months, right? And that can really eat into cash flow, especially if you start adding employees. You guys know how expensive that starts to get. And so I hope you guys can appreciate the candidness and the transparency. I'm sure you guys are having a lot of the same growing pains as you guys are growing your business. This is what we found works really, really well for us. And it solved a lot of our issues over the last couple of years, especially like I said earlier, is we need as much cash as possible to grow the business. And so back in the day, we would take days, weeks, and months to get paid. Last couple of years, we would do end of month billing, and we would cash out with Yardbook and obviously Stripe with cards on file. And then more recently, we are now moving to a charge card on file weekly, and we are just completing, as I say this on camera today, our first end of week cash out with all of our residential customers. And so no more of the high highs with payroll, right? Like stair stepping, hopefully, as we're growing up, right? Instead, it's now going to look like this, a little bit more kind of grounded out and rounded out highs and lows as we stair step north with growth. Because as you guys know, 1 week you have 10 grand of payroll, then you get 5 grand of commercial work in. 2 weeks later, you have another 10 grand in payroll, but then you have your residential, 10, 20, 30,000 come in, another 5 grand in commercial. So no more peaks and valleys, right? Just slow, steady growth. And you know what also would go up and down when I had payroll and cash flow issues? My attitude, my belief system, everything with the business, right? It was not an enjoyable experience some of those leaner years a couple of years ago. Now, we're definitely not a finished product. That's why we're making these changes, but it's going all in the right direction right now. Thank God. So one thing I'm going to just wrap this up with, and a couple of you guys had questions about how do you get customers to actually commit to charge card on file? You can't seem to get any of the customers to switch over, or not everybody's willing to switch over. Not to be a tough guy on any of it, I will just simply tell you that there is no other way to pay for my company, and I would implore you to evaluate if that's the same thing you want to do with your company, i.e., there is no other way to pay with our company. It's our company, it's my company, it's how we run business. If a customer doesn't want to do business with us, that's totally fine. We're just not the right provider. If we don't want to accept cash, checks during the season, or send out invoices, and then it's my prerogative. I don't want to do that with my business. And both are okay. But when you find customers, i.e. 99% of people that have no problem putting a card on file with you in your account, that is a win for both sides. And that's how we're going to conduct our business. It has been the absolutely biggest blessing in the business, cash flow wise, out of almost anything we've done, other than probably moving to seasonal monthly charges for our commercial account. So 7 equal monthly payments for the season, or 5 equal monthly payments for the winter seasons, right? Again, taking away those peaks and valleys with the billing and the cash flow. So for all of you guys that are struggling, I am not a genie. I do not have silver bullet answers for you. I will just tell you what has worked for me is we don't give our customers any other option to pay. Imagine if your HVAC guy came on over and he said, okay, we're all done fixing your furnace. It's going to be $275. And you said, yeah, no problem. Just send me an invoice at the end of the month. He would say, no, that's not how this works. I need to leave here today with a cash or check, right? Or a charge card over the phone with the office. There's no other way to pay. In fact, most of the time you have to put down a $99 or $149 service call just to even have them come on out. So you guys have heard me say before, nobody else offers as much credit and gets over their skis as much as lawn care guys, other than maybe a pizza shop. Other than that, in today's day and age, it's a quick turnaround, it's fast money, in and out, charge cards on file, and or drafting and or auto charging. Okay, that's just how it goes. If somebody doesn't want to subscribe to that, no problem. We just reserve the right to decline to offer service to those folks, and we'll just say, unfortunately, it's not going to be a good fit. We actually had a customer just a week ago cancel because we moved exclusively to a charge card on file system just a few years ago, and he was still fighting it. And I said, unfortunately, sir, there's no other way to pay. He goes, well, I can't believe you're going to lose a customer off of not taking a credit card. And I said, frankly, sir, it's 2025. The internet's been around for 25 years. He's an older gentleman. And I said, respectfully, we are giving you an option to seasonal prepay with a check, but this is how we streamlined the process to keep our operation as lean as possible, to keep our pricing as competitive as possible. I can't have other systems and processes that are going to muck this up, and that's what's going to directly go to raising your rates and everybody else's rates. This is the best program that we've found, and this is how it is. And unfortunately, he didn't want to renew. And frankly, it takes me about 10 seconds to replace a customer with postcards, yard signs, marketing, whatever we got to do, website. So it wasn't the end of the world. But I will tell you, the tail is not going to wag the dog in my company, and I would implore you guys to adopt the same mentality and philosophy with your business. So hopefully those tips help you guys out. I say this all super humbly, super excitedly. It's very, very awesome to have a business that is working, a business that is growing, solving the cash flow issues, which is a very common problem for a lot of guys from, zero to really any step in any stage of the business, right? Cash is everything. Cash flow is everything. As a friend of mine, Sam, said, we all live and die on our receivables. So make sure that more people owe you money than less. Get those receivables ballooning as high as you can and collect your cash as fast as possible. All right, that's the name of the game. All right, well, that's where I'm gonna wrap up today. I have to go inside, go get some groceries for the fam, do a little cookout. That's what I got for you guys in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. If so, leave me some comments down below. Are you guys struggling with cash flow? Is this a silver bullet of not having it be a silver bullet, but a little bit of a silver bullet for you? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and let me know what's working for you guys out there. All right, over now, guys. Have a great day. Look forward to catching up with all of you guys here. Catching up with all of you? Looking forward to catching up with all of you here on the next one.